What path will you choose? What path will you choose? If you could change any part of our aspect of your life, what would it be? If you could change anything, what would you change? Would you change your appearance? Would you change where you live? Would you change where you were born? Would you change your educational credentials? Would you change your job or career? Would you change the family you were born into? Or change your spouse? Be careful. Change the family you married into. What would you change if you could change any aspect of your life? We make choices. Every choice is like a highway. And on a highway, when you decide to travel that highway, there are certain things on that highway that you will encounter. If you decide to drive to Greenville from 385, there are certain buildings, certain restaurants, certain gas stations, certain exits that you will go by. They already are there. And you just simply made that choice, but that choice comes with a number of consequences. Every one of us have choices. And the book of Proverbs is a book that's not often preached from, but it should be taught, and it's especially written to young men and youth. This book, if there's no other book that can be taught to young men, I would recommend. Let us go at somebody who's helpless, somebody elderly, somebody by themselves. Look how the devil operates. We thought it's a new thing. This thing been in Proverbs all these years. Let us swallow them up alive. In other words, let's kill them and do away with their evidence so they can find nothing of what we've done. Swallow them up as the grave does. Those that go down in the pit. There's a choice that has to be made, and the enemy comes and says, let us make this choice together. Then verse 13, what is the enticement? The enticement is we can have a lot of money. We can have precious substance, that stuff. We can fill our houses with their stuff. Let's do a home invasion and take their stuff and bring it to our house. Come on, we can get away with it. The enemy is planning and plotting, trying to get you to make that choice. Then he says, when you come in with us, now we all in it together. We'll cut you in on the loot. We're all working together. And the writer says that when you make that choice, understand that that choice can lead down a path. And that path has consequences. We all have choices. And I'm not just talking to young men in here, but all of us have choices. Well, the enemy has tried to entice us along the way, to make us go down a path that leads to destruction. The Bible said there is a way that seems right to man, but the end thereof is nothing but destruction. There's a way even the enemy tried to tempt Jesus and get him to go down some path. You know, when Jesus was in the wilderness for 40 days, he was out there praying and getting ready for his ministry. He's preparing and cleansing himself to start his earthly ministry. But the devil don't care nothing about your ministry. He walked right up to Jesus at his weakest point and said, if you be the Son of God, turn these stones into bread. You know you're hungry. You've been fasting for 40 days and for 40 nights. Ain't nothing wrong with feeding your body. But I told you that temptation is the enemy rather, presenting you illegitimate source when I'm sick. I need to praise him when my body's in pain. Because the more I praise him, the better I feel. I feel better physically. I feel better emotionally. I feel better spiritually when I start praising God anyhow. Because I let the devil know you don't control my praise. You ain't putting my praise on mute. The more you come at me, the more I'm going to give God glory. And I'm not the only one in this building who has made up their mind. Ain't no devil in hell going to stop my praise. I fought my way here to give God glory in the sanctuary, because through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus. Through it all, I've learned to depend on his word. After all the hell that I've been through, I still got my joy.